Hey guys, so today we are starting our new standard. We are going to be multiplying up to 4-digit numbers by 1 digit and 2-digit by 2 digit. By this point you have looked at the standard already. You have broken the standard down to understand certain terms. You've created your vocabulary cards, and now you are ready to start getting an idea of what this means. So today's lesson, we're looking at multiply by multiples of 10, 100, and 1,000. This is kind of a cool trick because it's really going to help you with understanding how patterns can work. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start off with a pretty simple multiplication problem. And I'm going to start off with 4 times 10. Okay? So I'm starting off with 4 times 10. Now, some of you guys are probably immediately thinking of what this answer is going to be. Okay, well, 4 times 10, Miss Wilson, that's not hard. So 4 times 10, if we're thinking about it, we're going to break it down and think about what this actually means. So I'm going to go ahead and do 4 groups first, and I'm going to go ahead and put how many in each block? 10. I'm going to put 10 in each block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay? So if I look at this, the first thing I'm looking at is I have 4 groups, there's 10 in each group. We already know that 4 times 1 is, not 4 times 1, 4 times 10 equals 40. Okay? So now let's say I wanted to go ahead and look at a number that has a higher place value than 10. So if I'm thinking of my place value chart and I'm thinking of how it goes, I know that there's ones, tens, hundreds. Ones, tens, hundreds. So let me look at 4 times 100. Okay? So what could I do? Well, I could certainly draw out 4 groups and put 100 in each one. I could. Or I can break it down a little bit and I can look at a basic fact. So if I were to get rid of just the 2 zeros right here, what do I have? 4 times what? I have 4 times 1. So if I have 4 times 1, and I know that's a basic fact, I can go ahead and put that down. Then I look at my zeros. How many zeros do I have? I have 2. So then I can go ahead and just add my zeros at the end. A cool trick with this is we're looking at the zeros and we're making sure that your basic fact is going to have the same amount of zeros as what's in your problem. So let me give you an example. Let's say I have 3 times 60. Okay, I have 3 times 60. This is like a pretty big problem, right? Through 60. Now, you guys had multiples of, I'm trying to think, multiples of 30, I think that was on the READ test. And so I saw where you guys were using this, thinking about multiples here. Okay, so thinking about multiples. So if I'm doing this, I'm looking at 3 times 60, this is a problem. So what I need to do is I need to make sure I have a basic fact first. And if I have a basic fact, I can look at 3 times 6. 3 times 6. So my basic fact is 3 times 6. Now what is 3 times 6? 8. 3 times 6 is 18. Now, my answer is not complete because I'm looking at 3 times 60. How many rows do I have? I have 1. When I have my 18, I have my basic 3 times 6. My 18 is going to have a 0 added at the end. So it is actually 3 times 60 equals 180. So I wonder if this is true or I wonder what you think. If this is true, if I were to do 3 times 600, what's the first thing I need to do? First thing that I need to do is look at my basic fact. What is my basic fact in this problem? Not basic fact, but my basic multiplication problem. Here we go. It would 3 times 6. That basic fact that we should at this point in 4th grade. So my basic fact equals 3 times 6. Well, we know 3 times 6 equals 18. Back to my original problem. How many zeros do I have after it? You got it. There's 2. So I have my 3 times 600 equals, think of my basic fact, 3 times 6, that's 18, and I have 2 zeros at the end. 0, 0, 0. Okay? Let's do one more. Let's do, I like trying to think of some of the multiplication numbers that we have. Let's do 9 times 5,000. Okay. Looking at 9 times 5,000, what do you think the first thing to do is? I need to look at my basic fact. So I'm looking at 9 times 5. That gives me 45. And how many zeros do I have at the end? I have 3. I went ahead and marked my comma because I already knew that there were 3 rows there. And I'm going to make sure the comma goes at the period point. So I have my ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000. My comma separates the hundreds and the beginning to thousands. Excuse me. Now, it's important for you to understand this. I gave you a quick way to look at how to do it. Okay? I gave you a quick look how to do it. But I will remind you of the associative property of multiplication. This is going to help you figure out how to find that basic fact. So, I'm going to flip my page. And I'm going to go back to that 9 times 5,000 problem. The associative property says that I can refer the number in my number sentence, and I'm going to end up with the same product. So let me break this down a little bit to make sure you understand how this is going to work. My 9 is going to stay the same. My 9 is not going to change. So I'm going to have my 9, and I'm going to have my multiply. Now my 5,000, I'm going to break down. How many 1,000s do I have in this? I have 5. So I'm going to have my 9 times, and I'm going to put in parentheses this number broken down. 9 times 5 times 1,000. Okay? Now, again, the associative property tells me that I can regroup the numbers and still end up with the same product. Now, this problem right here, if I look at the fact that there's 4 numbers here, it's a 4-digit number by a 1-digit number, and I'm looking at the fact that's 9 times 5,000, that might not be something that I quickly do in my head. So I'm thinking of a strategy, a way to do it. Now, I just showed you a quick way of how to look for the basic fact. Take out the zeros and add them back again. But that doesn't really help me understand. So I've broke it down. I have 9 times, and then I broke this down into my 1,000s. I have 5 times 1,000. But let me break it down even further. Let me make sure I've got my basic fact on one side. So I'm going to have my 9 times 5 grouped together. That gives me my basic fact grouped together. Then before I can add the zeros again, I'm going to multiply that number by 1,000. So if I take 9 times 5, That gives me 45 times 1,000. 45 times 1,000 gives me 45,000. Now, this way is important for me to understand because I'm seeing how the numbers break apart. And because of the associative property of multiplication, I know that I can break apart these numbers into something that I know in order to be able to figure out the solution. So this allows us to use our associative property of multiplication. Okay? The shortcut has me look for the basic fact. And in this case, what? 9 times 5, which is 45. And then I would add in the zeros at the end. So 1, 2, 3. After the video, you're going to look at a little raw video that is from Pearson that's going to have you walk through some of these problems. Then I've given you a practice buddy to start with. All we're doing is look at tens, hundreds, and thousands, where I identify a pattern using the associative property of multiplication, and even getting where we can use the shortcut to look at the basic fact. Thank you guys. Have a great day.